Hi guys. Sorry for the delay. My camera was having issues, so hopefully we'll be okay. It just said that I had updates and then it wouldn't let me update. Technology. Okay. I need to, sorry, let me zoom out here. Okay. I need to sew up the other bag example we're doing for the SiahSwag Dash. And I have it all cut out here and ready to go. I need to finish quilting the pattern, or the front and back. I already did the pocket, so this is what we're working with. You see the quilting on there? Very simple. I'm just doing simple squares, diamonds, however you want to call it this time around, because we have a busy, print. So I didn't want to do anything too crazy, but it still needs quilted because I love a quilted bag. Hi, everybody. So I'm going to quilt these two panels and then we'll get as far as we can putting this together. Hopefully I can finish it. I don't know. We'll see. Hi, guys. So we're going to dig in and get this made. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Again, this is the AnnaBelle Shoulder Bag. It is my pattern, available on my website. One of my two. I don't have a ton. I would love to write more patterns. And let's just have some fun. Keep me company. It always helps for me to get things done when I'm live on a video. You guys help motivate me. So I'm going to move the camera in and down. And we'll get started. Okay. I may need another cord. We'll see. All right. Let's get her done, y'all. Sorry, it always takes me a minute to try and get just the right angle. There we go. And then I'm going to zoom in just a tiny bit. Hi, everybody. Okay. So I have a very fun evening ahead of me. I got Charlotte and I concert tickets to Benson Boone a while back, and the concert is tonight. So after I get this bag done, we're going to get ready for the Benson Boone concert, and to say we are just a little bit excited is, to say the least. Is your foam out of the seam allowance? Yes, Julie, my foam is out of my seam allowance by 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to sandwich, after I quilt it, I'm going to sandwich a woven interfacing over it with my heat press, and then just base the edges down. That's my favorite method of interfacing this bag when I quilt it. So that is going to be what I do for this one as well. Hi from Alabama. Where can we get that vinyl? So this vinyl was designed for the swag dashes. We've used it at the last one and at this one. And so I think Annette will be listing any leftover of this print on her website soon, along with the stripes and maybe some other floral smoothie smooth that she has. Hey, Jaded. Do you know when pattern coming out for the pink hanging bag on your machine? Yes. Danny has set a date for that to come out. I want to say it's end of this week or beginning of next week for the Molly Caddy. So it is coming out, and I will be doing a video for her. Probably when I get back from Swag Dash. Hi, Sonia. I just sent you an order. Thanks for ordering. You know, I always forget I have this little cutter on the side of my machine. And then I remember, I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of handy, especially when you're quilting. So I am using Tech 70 bonded polyester thread in Rosy Cheeks. I sell it on my website. I sell a Tech 70 and a Tech 45. And the 70 is almost always what I sew with on my machines. Lighter weight domestic machines, you can do the 45. Yeah, let me know if you guys have more questions. You made this bag on a domestic. I get loads of compliments. Oh, Debbie, I'm so glad. That's fabulous. I haven't made an AnnaBelle since the last Swag Dash. So I like to always sew one up before an event. Whatever bag I'm teaching, I need to always refresh my memory right before. So I wait for like the week before to sew one up. So I have it fresh in my brain to teach the pattern. Hi, Orla. Caddy is releasing September 25th. There you go, guys. September 25th. Super excited for that. You guys are going to love it. All right. Just this top corner here. I wanted to sew up, Unicats came out with a Clea hip bag, pretty much a little variation. I told her I wanted a wider gusset on it, and so she made one with a wider gusset, and it's very cute, and I wanted to try and sew that up this week, so we'll see if I get around to that too. I always have grand plans. All right, so there's my first, and then I'll do my second side, and then I'll take this to my heat press and sandwich some woven interfacing on it. Hi, Carol. Welcome, welcome. I hope you guys all had a good weekend. I had my kids over last night, and we had dinner and played games, and it was fabulous. But I'm super excited for the concert tonight. I think I might be more excited than Charlotte. Thank you, Sarah, for linking that. Appreciate it. My week is going to be prepping for the Swag Dash, and then the next 2 weeks after that are going to be prepping for Lynn's handmade retreat. She just got the kits all put together, so I get to put together the projects for that. I'll probably, maybe I'll do that on a live. How far apart are you making your quilted lines? These are just 2-inch lines. They're 2 inches apart. That's usually my go-to. It's 2 inches apart if I just want a very basic quilted panel. Seems to be the ticket. All right, here. Hope it's okay to ask, have you received any shipments since the tariffs went up? Yes. My prices for the website of the items that I have been getting, my cost has gone up. Yep, I have been affected, and I will slowly have to raise prices just a little bit on my website for my items. I'm kind of hurting on that end because I haven't done that yet. Yes, tariffs are affecting small businesses. You should FaceTime me when you're at the retreat. Okay, I will, Orla. Remind me. Probably gonna have to hook on another bobbin to wind. Okay, so that's my quilted panels. It really doesn't take a lot of time to do a very basic quilt pattern on a bag. And my go-to is this Basel foam. It's a thinner foam and I really, really like it. I just spray it on with some temporary adhesive spray before I quilt it. And I almost always keep it out of my seam allowances. You could probably leave it in with a more heavy duty machine, but I just play it safe. All right, let me hook up another bobbin real quick and then we'll go to the heat press and we'll get the panels attached and we'll continue. Get this rolling here. I always like to have a spare bobbin winding while I'm sewing, so just hooking that up. All right. Basel inner foam is what I use. This floral is from Tulip Bee. It's just a little custom one that Annette and I put together for the swag dashes. And I think she'll be offering them on her website, whatever's left over after the dash. Or maybe this week. I'm not sure, actually. I'll have to ask her. All right, so here we are. Here's my heat press. It is at 300. I've just got some woven interfacing. Very simple. Sorry, I can't see comments currently while I'm over here. I didn't bring my iPad over. But it goes all the way to the edges, okay? And make sure that you are protecting your pieces. I like to double up Teflon sheets. Okay, and I'm going to give this a nice press this way, and then I'm going to flip it and press it the other way because my heat press is uneven. It heats hotter in the back than it does in the front. So I've just worked around it. One of these days, I'll get a better heat press, but this one works for now. All right, and then I'm going to go here. If you wanted a really shaped bag, you could do some Duckville Light. But I feel like the foam and the woven gives it the shape that I want it. So, okay. And then I'll also baste the edges just to make sure it's just all stuck where it needs to go and it doesn't move. So here's my second panel here. Now I don't do this. So I do a slip pocket for the swag dashes. We do a back slip pocket, which I kind of made my own pattern pieces for. And it's just an inch shorter than the main panel. And I just make a slip pocket for it. I don't put the woven on that one. I put the foam on and quilt it, but I don't do the woven for that. Because it doesn't need it like the main panels do, if that makes sense. So. All right. Okay, I'm just going to take these back and baste the edges so it all stays in place, but that's what that is. All right. Let's go finish our bag. Okay. Here we go. Okay, fine. I'll buy the heat press. if you're really going to be making bags, it really is worth it. I think, in my opinion. Okay. All right, I am just going to now do just a basting around my edges, okay? And that also locks in all of your quilting, everything. And then I'll also just trim if there's any, you know, over. I'm just going to trim that off. Not a huge deal, but. All right. There's that one. And then automatic ones. Robert, do you mean like the clamshell, like the, not the clamshell, the one that just presses down all at once? Those are super cool. I just need to trim this down here. Beautiful. Okay, before I go any further, I'm just gonna go ahead and put on my accent pieces onto my panels because I just want to get that kind of done and out of the way. So we're doing black accent pieces with this. And I need to run a lighter along the top edge. I have these marked, which edge is my top edge and which is right and left. It really helps to keep them organized. Okay, and this is the faux real vinyl in black, and I'm just gonna tape them on and then top stitch. Hi Tammy. Hi Robin. Hi Karina. Maritha. Hi, Cyan, everyone. I loved your vinyl. I still have to make another AnnaBelle. Well, hi. All right. These are my pieces. So this is my pocket piece. So this is my slip pocket for the back is what my accent pieces are going to go on. So this is my right top. So this one goes here. And it should just fit on there nice and perfect. And then this one's my left. So my son's girlfriend, her birthday is coming up. And I told her I would sew her a bag for her birthday. I told her she could pick out whatever pattern she wanted and make her bag. She picked the AnnaBelle. So I need to sew up an AnnaBelle for his girlfriend. So he's already got, we got the material and everything. So I need to sew another one of these when I get home. Hi, Candace. Yay, I'm excited to meet you too. Okay, there's the first one. I always like to start with the top stitched edge before I baste the sides. I don't know if it really matters the order that you baste this down. Okay, so there's my slip pocket. I'm going to go ahead and put the piece with that and finish that slip pocket. So here's my lining is pink, of course, because would you expect any differently? All right, here we go. And again, this slip pocket on the back is not in the written pattern. It's a modification I made after the fact. And it is just from the main panel. I cut it an inch shorter. That's all it is. It's very simple to do on your own. Just trace it out an inch shorter and then cut a lining and a main. And then I just do a 1/4 inch seam allowance along the top. Turn and top stitch and you have a slip pocket. You could put a magnetic snap, although the bag is so tiny, I don't feel like it needs it, but totally up to you. Hi, Annette. Everybody's asking if you have more of this floral and if it will be offered on your website. I know I'm going to have extra rolls left over that I think I'm going to raffle off for my Patreon. But I told them you might have more that you're going to list. Okay, here we go. Bye, so Felicia. I just like to clip it in place to make sure it's where I want it to go. And then I'm going to top stitch and baste it. And then I'll add it to my exterior panel. Hi, Gemma. I do, and it will be added with my restock that is arriving this week. Yay! Okay. So if you love this floral print, it'll be added to Tulip Bee's website very soon. And if you're my Patreon, tomorrow is our raffle for the top 2 tiers. And I'm going to be raffling off some rolls of this. Okay, now I'm going to baste. Hi, Fran. Hi from Sweden. I'm not even going to try and say your name. I don't want to butcher it. But hello. Okay, so there is my back slip pocket. So I just like to find the one that lines up the best quilting wise. I tried to match these. That lines up pretty dang good. Let's see if this one's any better. Bye, Sarah. My kids don't have school today. They had like a teacher teacher work day or whatever. So, okay, so this I think matches up the best. So I am going to baste this one on to here. All right, so that's going to be the back of the bag. Cute, right? All right, here we go. All right, so there's my back panel pocket all done. I'm gonna put that aside. I'm gonna get my front and do the accent pieces on this one. And then instead of a tag, I'm gonna put a bow on this one. I was all out of the small gold bows to do on the sides, so we're gonna do it on the front. And I think it'll look just as good. Linda, have you decided on a project for Wonderground? Somewhat, Linda. I will narrow that down after the swag dash, but I think we're going to be doing a tiny bit modified version of the mini, now I can't remember the name. It's a tote from Sonar, and then I'm making a zipper pouch to go with it. So a small tote and a pouch. Beautiful. Okay, and then I'm gonna do a little bow instead of my name tag on this one. Make sure, always check your washer ahead of time, because for this one, I think it fits best in the first and the second to the last. So it's a tiny bit off. So you need to know when you're marking it which marks you're doing, okay? No, not the Celestial tote. It's the mini box tote. Here we go. So I'm just gonna, I already have my centers marked on here. So I'm just gonna come down. That right there, yeah. I'm gonna do 3.5 inches up from the bottom. I think that's cute. Oh, I need to get my nails done, Diane. That reminds me, I need to text my nail lady. Okay, so I want to make sure I am not hitting any of my quilting lines, right? Make sure that you're not cutting into those. That should be good. All right, make your cuts. Take off my silver pen first. Install my bow. Easy. These bows are on my website. They're super cute. I love the bows and the hearts. I have them in smaller and bigger. They're super fun to add to bags. Cover those prongs up. Okay, so there is my front of the bag. She's cute. All right, put that aside. I'm kind of going out of order here, and that's totally fine. Just, let's see. I'll do that. Sure. Let's add this to the gusset. So here's my gusset. I have just Decaville Light out of my seam allowances for the gusset. You could maybe do foam too. I don't know if it's needed though. Okay, there's my gusset. I'm going to mark my center all the way down and get that placed. I forget how. So 2 1/4 is my center here. Make a visible marked line because the connector goes along the whole of the gusset. And I'm going to make this one for the dash. The last one, people seem to like the idea of the handle being detachable. So I'm going to do the same thing for this dash. We're going to do a detachable handle instead of it sewn into the bag. You can do either way though. I think I need to move this out just a touch. There you go. Okay, so I have my markings there. This is my connector. I have some Decaville Light along each edge. Make sure that you do that because that takes, you know, the whole hanging of the bag comes from this right here. So you want to make sure that that vinyl is extra stabilized. You don't want that coming off or tearing, which has been known to happen. Okay, and I'm just folding my raw edges in. I like to use this seam roller to really press down that tape too. That really does help. All right, beautiful. And then we want to make a mark on the back, 3 inches down. It's just going to be your fold mark, right? Your guideline for your fold. 3 inches. And then I'm going to put some more tape along the back, and I'm going to put it a little bit above that line. Like 1 inch above that line and go all the way down. Right there. Beautiful. Thanks, Annette. Annette's being so amazing and linking all of these items. Thank you so much, Annette. All right, so these are 3/4. Annette packs, not Annette, Jessica packs these hardware pieces so good sometimes. All right. You don't want them to get scratched, so she protects them. And sometimes I'm like, okay. All right. So I am just going to take the very end off here and put this on, and I want to fold this down to that line. Okay, and attach my D-ring. Same here. And then you could put another little piece of tape along here. I forgot about that. That's fine. It's fine. How much is too much? I know. She's pretty awesome. Jessica is amazing, and my website would not survive without her. That is for sure. Whoops. I dropped my scissors. Okay. So, last thing I want to do is mark my center along my connector bottom here. Is it gold hardware you're using? Yes, I am using gold hardware, light gold from my website. All right, now you just want to eyeball, center, and put this down. I start from the middle marking here and go down and then repeat. And then come back down this way. Okay. And now I'm just going to sew that on. And then we'll add some rivets, okay? So on my other bags, I have done the smaller bows right here underneath the D-ring. And I was going to do that for these, but unfortunately I couldn't get enough gold ones in stock in time for the dash. So we are doing that big bow on the front instead. It's just as cute. It'll be all right. Okay, so if you don't want any back stitching, you're going to pull through. I like to start on the bottom of the bag because it's the least noticeable, right? And I'm just gonna go forward and then I'll pull them through. Make sure you're protecting your hardware. This foot doesn't normally scratch up my hardware like my other walking foot did, but I'm always super careful because the last thing you want is your vinyl to be destroyed. I'm going to go ahead and pull this thread through. Better safe than sorry. That's right, Annette. And if you want it to be exact on where you turn, you can mark it. I'm just eyeballing it because that's what I do, guys. Go just a little bit. There we go. And then I want to end right in the last or the first stitch hole. So I'm just going to go slow, lift my foot up, make sure my needle is going right where I want it. Pull it out. I hold on to my threads so I know which one needs to pop through. There we go. How can you protect your vinyl? It's the bottom feed dogs messing up the vinyl. That has to do with the pressure of your feed dogs, Robert. So you need to lessen the pressure, which depending on what machine you have, it's a lever here in the back. Or your other option is to sand them down so they're smoother. But usually that's a pressure issue. I have been known, if I want to be really careful from the top and the bottom feed dogs, to put vinyl top and bottom underneath my materials. You just have to be really careful. I use size 18 needle the most and 70 bonded polyester thread, which I sell on my website. Okay. Beautiful. I'm going to add a rivet. Sorry if you can hear vacuuming. My niece is cleaning her room, which is like right above my sewing room. All right, here we go. Actually, that one's too big. So I made it bigger the other day when I was doing something. All right, just gonna do a rivet right there. And make sure I get these pretty even. Right there. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm just gonna take this to my press real quick and set these. Hi, Tony. Okay, so that is my gusset all done. Looks good. Let's move on. I'm gonna move to my zipper panel here, which I think I decided black, the zipper tape. And okay, here we go. I'm looking forward to seeing you too, Tony. It's gonna be fun. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna do that little 90-degree turn on my zipper here. I measure a 1/2 inch down from the top edge, and that's like a perfect fold for me. And then I don't have like extra on here. So if I need to know the exact length of a zipper before I fold it, I just add a 1/2 inch to whatever that is and then do the fold. And I should end up with the exact correct length of zipper. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Gonna baste that. All right, so I'm gonna prep my panel here. So I have my 2 lining, 2 exterior, and I have measured in from the edge 3/4 of an inch. And I'm gonna fold the edges to the line on all the ends. What is the name of the Tulip Bee I'm using? The floral doesn't have a name. It's a special one that we printed for the swag dashes, but she will have it on the website. I'm not sure what she's going to name it. The pink Smoothie Smooth, I think, is the Annette. Is it the mauve? I think it's the mauve, right? And then black faux real for my accent pieces. All right, so I'm just folding those to the line. Call it Dashing Flowers. Ah, that's cute. I like that. Dang, hate it when I'm motoring along through my to-do list, listening to Siah on live when work calls and I have to mute. Dang work, right? All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Where's my skinnier tape? There it is. Now, I'm kind of silly in the way I do this zipper panel. I do tape and sew it, and then I take out the tape and trim it. So if you don't want to deal with taking the tape out, you can just clip it all and baste it. Totally an option. I just feel like the tape holds it in place and you have less room for mistakes and for it shifting. So it's worth it to me to put it on and then remove it. So you can do it either way. Are you losing count on your AnnaBelles? Yeah. On how many I've made? Yeah, I'm not sure how many I've made now. Probably over a dozen, I would guess. And I need to make my son's girlfriend one, and my sister-in-law Kara needs a new one. Her zipper kind of busted. Yep. All right, so I start the zipper tape where the fold ends on that fold that we did. Okay, right side down, and then sandwich the lining on top. Can we ever have too many AnnaBelles? I know, I thought, well, I've done the AnnaBelle so much on lives, but I think people don't mind. And if you do, I'm really sorry. Ay. Doggy's barking. Okay, I've got that one taped. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. One for every outfit. Yeah, I went out with my son and his girlfriend last weekend for just like dinner and drinks and dancing. And I brought my leopard print AnnaBelle with me because that's my going out bag is my leopard print one. It's perfect. And she was like, oh my gosh, that's such a cute bag. So now she wants one for her birthday. So yeah. Cable guys. Yeah, who knows? We've had people in our neighborhood doing that internet thing all week. All right, so I'm going to sew this on, and then, I need to change to it's worth it to do that 3/4 or 3/8 inch seam allowance, which you know how much I despise, but it makes a difference on this bag. So we're going to change out our foot and sew that on first at a 3/8 inch. Did I say 3/4? 3/8. I need to do a new line too. Yeah, I think their big truck is right outside my house right now. I can hear it. Fiber optic internet, which is amazing and we need it, but it's getting annoying. All right. Hoping I have enough time. I want to cut out a couple Disney ones. Oh, that'd be cute, Robert. All right, here we go. I think this bag's a pretty easy, quick make, personally. I don't know if it's because I've made so many, but it's not a complex bag. I think it's very beginner friendly. And I'm going to go ahead and do the other one as well. The closer seam allowance on this zipper gusset is important for the way it lays when the bag is all done. If you have only that 1/4 inch seam allowance, the zipper doesn't want to lay correctly. So it's worth the extra headache. Okay, and now I'm going to take out the tape and trim this down. Okay. Ooh, I got it both at the, oh, look at that. Well, that's never happened. Both sides at once. It was meant to be, guys. It was meant to be. That was kind of amazing. Okay, and now I'm going to trim down the material, but not the zipper, okay? And I'm holding the zipper down and out of my way as I cut. Okay. Same thing for the vinyl side here. Okay. And then I'll top stitch that. But I'm going to do the second one real quick. I probably won't get as lucky with this one. Oh, look at that. What? That's never happened, guys. Oh my gosh, that was so easy. That has never happened. All right. The sewing gods are smiling down at me on that move. Just that move. You should, yeah, I should play the lotto. For sure. All right, beautiful. Trim down, I'm going to change my foot out for my top stitch. That's all I need this zipper foot for, was just that step. Oops. And yes, I still have my big, huge screwdriver. And it is what it is. Okay. Here we go. Let's fold this out. We're going to top stitch and baste it all together. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach this to our outside exterior panels, okay? Hi, Barbie. Okay. We're cruising right along. I just have to... What is next? I'm trying to think. Attach this, and then we're going to assemble the exterior. Okay. Okie dokie. Hi, Harriet from Miami. Lots of Florida people, as always. You Florida people are lucky. So many of you. All right, here we go. I'm going to top stitch and then attach to our main panels. Uh-oh, got caught. You need a sewing room pair of glasses. I know, and I used to have a pair, and I keep meaning to bring them back down. I used to have like 5 pairs in here. I need to get actual glasses that I can wear all the time because it's annoying when I'm sewing and then I have to look up to read comments. It doesn't work. Okay. And this one. I bought 6 different yards of waterproof canvas. I'm going to embroider some. Can I use it for outside of bags? Absolutely. Yep. You just have to be careful with waterproof canvas. You can't really use much heat on it. It will melt it. So that is the only thing about that. I would use sew-in or self-adhesive interfacing if you're going to be using that and interfacing it. Okay, so this is the front of my bag. Let's make sure I'm not doing this backwards like my last live. I want it right sides together, zipper on that end. Yes and yes. Okay. Here we go. So for this, we're going to have to put, actually I'm going to use my metal clips for this part. Hi, Chastity. You sure did. We're here. All right, and then I need to put some snips into my exterior panel. Just little ones along the edge here, and that'll help it kind of curve into the zipper panel, okay? I'm going to kind of stretch it and bring it up. And it's going to kind of bring that up like that with that curve, and that's correct. That's how you want it, okay? So I'm going to do the other one here. Did you make or buy your clip caddy to your right? This one is a pattern coming out from Measure and Cut on September 25th. So very soon. You can order the hardware piece that it needs to attach to your table from her website. And then I'll be doing a tutorial on how to make it with her pattern. And your clips don't need to be crazy big. I think your seam allowance along the top and the end is 3/8 or 1/4. So just tiny 1/8 inch clips into there. Why metal clips? They are more secure. They have a tighter hold and it's on this curve. And I just find the metal clips hold this curve better. There's some things that I like the plastic clips for and some things that I prefer the metal clips for. Yeah. Plastic ones are great for stuff that doesn't need to be crazy tight and secure, and that you can just go and swipe them off. But these metal ones are great for gussets and curves and things that you really need to stay in place and not move. They're just tighter. All right. And they don't break as easy. You know how many plastic clips have broken in my hands and hurt? Oh, it sucks when that happens. Okay, so now I want to baste these on. Do you think it's possible to make the Juki cylinder arm into a flatbed so it can serve both functions, or would that be uncomfortable sewing? It is possible. There are attachments for that. I think it would be rough sewing an entire bag on a cylinder arm personally. I think I need to do one more basting. It slipped a little bit right there in the middle. Because it is a higher sitting machine, and so it's harder on your back. So it depends on the person, I suppose, but you know, those machines aren't meant to be set at and made to sew a whole bag. Yeah. I don't think I'll ever sit at that machine and sew an entire bag. I did that at, didn't I do that at? No, I wasn't on that machine the whole time. Or was I? I don't remember if I've done it or not. Yeah, if you're taller, I'm sure it is easier. I'm a shorty. I am not tall. I'm only 5'4", so it's hard for me. All right, so those are my front and back panels. My gusset is done. We're going to assemble our layers. Let's do it. And then our lining is super quick, and I need to do my handle. All right, so I'm going to start with this side. Doesn't matter which side you start with. I'm going to clip my bottom centers, go to my top sides, and then work the rest in there. I'm 5'2". I have to jump to, yeah. That would be rough for you, Orla. Now, if you have to clip your curves, but I have yet had to do that on this AnnaBelle. It kind of sits just where you need it. You should be good. But do some clips if you need to. It sits pretty dang good. so there's the first side all clipped on. Do I usually baste? I think I can make it around without basting because this doesn't pull or anything. Let me get my screwdriver here. I don't know where my... Oh, it's right there. Okay, here we go. So 3/8 inch seam allowance, and then I'll go another round right beside that 3/8 as well, just to make sure my stitches aren't going to pull and show when I'm all done. Okay. I like to use a screwdriver just to kind of hold down my pieces as I sew after I take the clips off. Metal clips are all sold out currently. I'm sure she's going to get more back in stock. I just don't know when. Okay, so I did my first round. Looks good. Ugh, it just looks so good every time. Just, perfect round corners. Love it. Okay, so now I'm going to go around again right next to that first row stitching. I'm going to start like an inch down because I want this top seam to be able to lay flat. So I'm going to start a little bit down and just do another row right next to it. This helps with the overall end result of the bag, and I always recommend it on vinyl exteriors. Almost always. It can't hurt, right? Okay, beautiful. So there's my first round. Ooh, she's looking cute. All right, I'm going to add the second side here. Same thing. Second verse, same as the first. Thank you, Barbie. Hi, Teresa. Now I have him. Yeah, I know. The 8 stick man. Sorry. I think of it every time. Every time I do a bag. So sorry. Where did you get your metal clips? I got them from Jax and Lowe. She's currently out of stock. I'm sure she's getting a restock. I just don't know when. I haven't asked her. If you're coming to the Swag Dash, we have some for you. But if you're not, I think there's a list you can get on to know when she gets a restock. Okay, let's sew the second side on. Oh, I need a drink of water. Here we go. It's harder to see. If you guys want me to move my camera, I can move it. I usually move it to this side. Let me do that real quick. Just for this part. There. How's that? Good? Good. All right. Maybe a little lower. Okay. All right, here we go again. Oh, hi, doggies. Hi, babies. How are you? Hi. Doggies come in to check, see what I'm doing. They're like, excuse me, mommy. Oh, sorry. Sorry for the dogs. Almost there. Concentrating. All right, so now I'm gonna go around one more time and then we're gonna trim the seam allowance down before I turn it. Okay, and we'll just take a good look at all of the seams, make sure everything's good before we move on to the lining. All right, here we go. Alrighty, let's trim down the seams just a little bit. Okay, just on these curves here. I think my material is too thick for, especially on this back one with the pocket. I think it's too thick for pinking shears, at least my pinking shears. There's no way. So I'm not even going to try. But I'm going to trim it down just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to give it a shot of heat and then I'm going to turn it out. So my hair drier's over here, unfortunately. Let me grab it. Cute. All right. Ooh, she looks good. She's cute. Just really gotta, you know, get those seams folded, but hey, what a cutie. It's my back pocket. All right, so let's work on the lining and then we'll put these two together. She's cute. All right. Move the camera back. All right, let's see. Lining pieces. Very basic. I'm just doing a slip pocket. You could totally add a zipper pocket if you wanted. It's not a big bag. There's not a ton to it, so it doesn't really need it. I forgot to grab a tag. Just a second. All right. These are the ones we have for the dash. So we'll do that. All right. So I like to fold in my sides here. This is just a very basic slip pocket. Okay, so 3/4 of an inch in on the back. Okay, and tape. Is this pattern a drop-in lining? No, it's a birthed. With the way the zipper is, I mean, I suppose you could try to do a drop-in. Might be a little bit more difficult though, but this one's a birthed one. All right, we're just going to fold this in to the line. Beautiful. And then wipe. Stuck to my tape. I'm just going to put a piece of tape along the top here. And fold this up so my raw edges meet. Kind of takes place of basting. You could baste this. I've just started taping it. All right, and then here is my trim piece. I've got my middle marked, tape on each side. I'm just going to go like that. And I'll trim off the extra. I used Wendy Basel Inner Foam. It's my favorite. For this one, I'm going to stick my tag coming out the side right there. All right, I'm going to put a little piece of tape along the bottom, and then we'll place it onto our lining. All right, marking my center here. And then it goes up 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. You're going to top stitch the accent. Oh yeah, thank you. Thanks, Wendy. Yes, duh. Okay. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Wendy. See, that's what is nice with you guys being on here with me. help catch some things that I forget sometimes. Hi, Amber. All right, so I want to center that. So I just like to fold it in half like this, and then I just right there. Beautiful and beautiful. And then I'll slip this little tag in and we will top stitch this all on. It's just so cute. Let's do it. These tags are from my website. I'm not sure if I have any left individual. I know I have them in the combo packs, but I might be all out of them individually. Hi, Karen from the UK. All right, time to put this together. That's all there is on the lining. It's a very simple lining. Again, you could totally put a zipper pocket in if you wanted. But I just like the little slip pocket because it's just a baby. It's just a baby bag. And then here's this. I should put together my handle real quick before I get to the very end, and I'm too tired to do it, huh? I really should. I think I'll do that real quick. Thank you, Annette, for linking that. All right, I've got all my centers clipped. I'm going to do my handle real fast. So I already have it pieced together here. It's double-sided, so it's 3/4 of an inch on the bottom piece and a little bit smaller on the top, so it kind of pokes out. And I'm making it detachable because it's cute with a shoulder strap or a chain. And when it's detachable like this, it's kind of easier to switch on and off. I like it with the handle attached, but the consensus last time at the dash was most people liked it separate. So that's what we're doing. All right. So I'm just going to top stitch this along the black. I started with a pretty full bobbin. I think I'm okay. I think this is a 1 bobbin bag. Watch me be wrong, but I think my bobbin is okay. I'll check in a minute. I'll check after this handle. It's never a bad idea, I suppose. When it's attached, does it go straight into the seam? Yeah, so Robert, when it's attached to the bag, it comes out of like the top edge and it has this cute little rounded handle. The original pattern was written that way, and it's my preferred way to do it. So yeah, it's attached in that top seam. I would have basted it onto my exterior already if I was doing it that way. All right, so there's that. And then I'm just going to rivet it around the snap hooks. You could do strap ends would be cute on this too, actually. Little gold strap ends. I'm going to check my bobbin while I have it in my head real quick. Still good. We're still okay. Can you make sure you close the laundry room door?
Yeah, do you want me to put these towels that are on top?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Where do they go down here?
Are they, I have no idea.
They're all like beach towels.
Beach towels go underneath, yeah, in the,
These guys.
let me see. Yeah, the beach ones go in the laundry room, and that yellow one is Marky's. All right, I'm just gonna rivet this on. So this is just a little shoulder strap. It's not meant to be anything long or adjustable because we're going to put a chain for the longer strap. But if you wanted to make an adjustable strap, you totally could. This is just the way the pattern is written. So, oh my goodness. Stay in place. Okay, like that, and then just want to make sure it's even. That looks even. I wonder if you could do something similar to the Adina with the pen back. Oh, Robert, yes, that would look very cute. You could totally do something similar to that. Yep, yep, yep. All right, I'm just going to press that with my rivet press, and then we'll finish the lining. I'm going to show you real quick. So here's the bag. So, you know, if you do the handle this way, it's just gonna be clipped on. It's just a little shoulder. So if you were to do the handle connected instead of having swivel hooks or anything, it would be coming right out of the top of the bag like that when it was all done. And it stands up out of the bag along the top. And so it doesn't come down at all. It's just always poking up and out, and it's super cute. This is my preferred way to do it, is it attached to the bag, but a lot of people like the idea of having it detachable. So we're going to do it that way for the dash. Okay. Hi, sister. My face is itchy. All right. So let's finish this lining. Here we go. Do you know where your other dashes will be? No, we don't have any more planned for the year. All of our trips are planned for the rest of the year, and we haven't started 2026 yet. Okay. They kind of have to be wherever Danny can bring the machines to, because she's the one that has the machines that we use, so she has to be willing to travel to whatever location. All right, so this first side, I'm just going to sew all the way around regular, no hole. And then the second side, we're going to leave a nice big hole. Because it's a birthed bag. And this one, you do definitely need to clip into your gusset here along the curve. And we will be taking our seam allowance bigger too for the majority of it. Susan, that's a surefire way to know. No, we haven't done a Vegas one. Okay, next one. Michelle, that's funny. Michelle says, my hubby is watching volleyball and keeps trying to talk to me about it. And I'm trying to watch Siah put this gorgeous bag together. That's funny. All right, so we're going to start at that 3/8 seam allowance. We're going to increase and then go back to that 3/8 at the end. That'll ensure that our lining is not baggy. And here we go. And we don't have to do that like double stitching on the lining because it's not vinyl and it's not pulling. So you're good with just one round. All right, so 3/8 and then I'm increasing to a half. And then I need to go back to that 3/8 right up here. Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and trim as well because we don't need that big of a seam allowance in our bag. Okay. And then we'll put on the second side and I'll leave a nice big hole for our turning. And then I'll go over to my cylinder arm to finish. All right, here we go. Susan, did you have a question for me? Or are you going to ask me later? I changed our VRBO, by the way. So we check in on Thursday instead of Wednesday now. Hello from the UK. You should be sleeping. I may or may not have scored tickets to the WNBA semifinals game in Vegas tomorrow. Okay. Happy for you, Susan. Are you so excited? Oh my goodness. How'd you score tickets? We can reschedule our raffle. That's fine. Aw, I'm so happy for you. Who's going with you? Is Carrie going with you? That's awesome. Carrie and Mom? Okay. That's awesome. You're excited about basketball. I'm excited about Benson Boone. I get it. It's good. Happy for you. Hi, Annette Harris. All right, I gotta leave a hole on this side. Is that Abigail?
Yeah.
Your mom got tickets to the WNBA finals or whatever tomorrow night.
Finally.
She's so excited.
I know.
She's on here. So funny.
What team? Vegas?
It's in Vegas. I don't know. Is it Vegas
Is
team,
it the Aces?
Susan? Oh, you're asking the wrong
Aces
girl.
and who?
I don't know. I don't know. You are talking to the wrong girl. I have zero clue about
Alright. I
WNBA.
guess we'll talk to her later.
Guess
then.
you need to call your mom.
I guess so.
Aces and Fever.
Our.
Who's Fever?
I actually don't know who that one is. I just know Aces. That's Vegas.
Is that Vegas?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh.
Beats me.
I don't know.
Oh. Sorry, Susan, to disappoint you. I don't know the teams. She's like, oh my. Indiana. Fever.
Oh, with Caitlin Clark. Yes, I know.
Okay. Oh.
Right?
I don't know.
Right? Right? Duh.
I've never watched one game. I have no idea. You're asking the wrong sister. I have so much to teach you both, she says. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to switch over. Actually, let's put these together real quick. Almost there. Ooh, sorry.
Woo.
Woo. All right, let's put these two layers. I want this on the back and back. My zipper's way too long, but that's fine. We're just gonna clip it out of our way. I don't have anybody in my house who would watch women's basketball with me, and I just never think to watch it, so there you go. Well, there you go. All right, so we're gonna clip our layers together. And then we'll go over to the cylinder arm and finish her up. I like to match these seams up first, and then we'll go center out. Okay. Don't be afraid to just squish it all in there. It's not going to hurt it. That is slipping. I didn't quite get that, so we're just going to use a couple metal clips there. Spine. Spine. Should have basted that zipper panel on at a bigger seam allowance because it's didn't quite catch it right there, but that's okay. It'll be caught with this last one. Do you mainly use Tech 70 or 45? I use Tech 70. I have never used Tech's 45 on this machine. I probably could, but it is made for thicker thread. You bet, Mandy. Right, I am going to take this over to my cylinder arm and we are going to sew this all the way around, turn it out, and top stitch. Yay! All right, let me do some camera reconfiguring real quick. Don't have to go far, just right behind. Okay. And I just need to change my thread. And my bobbin. Thank you, Annette. Bye. You're amazing. Do I have a Rosy Cheeks in here? I sure do. All right. Perfect. Okay, let's see if I can thread my needle. This tends to be a struggle for me lately. Come on. Yay, I did it. Why is that not going in? I don't want to force that. Just a minute. That felt weird. I threaded my cylinder arm when I first got it. I always just pull the next thread through. One day, I don't know what I was thinking. I pulled the thread out. Oh no. You know, Wendy, I'm so used to just pulling my thread through that, yeah, if I had to rethread it, I would probably have to look up a video because I just always pull it on through. Yep. There we go. Okay. There and there. Kelly, if you are switching to the cylinder arm, I am once again late. That's okay. Yay, I am excited to see you. All right, here we go. I'll go down just a little bit more. How's that? Good? Good. All right, so let me double check my measurement on here because I don't have a, you know, a seam allowance thing on this one. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, here we go. $1,000 gift card. What would you buy with a $1,000 bag making gift card? Ooh. Yeah, machine for sure. You could get an industrial machine for that price. All right, I'm gonna go right here. Here we go. Hold those threads. Most important part about this machine. Where did you get your cylinder arm from? I got it from Ralph's Industrial. It is a King Max, but it's the same exact machine as a Thor. It's just a different name. Just like my other machine. It's a King Max, but it's the same as like a Juki 1181N. The nice thing about the Swag Dash is we will have a cylinder arm set up. So people are able to do this they take turns finishing their bags on the cylinder arm, which is super fun because some people have never sewn on one before. And so it gives them like a chance to feel it out, and it's kind of awesome. Okie dokie. Let me just look. Make sure it's good. It slipped a tiny bit there, but I think we're gonna be okay. I'm gonna get some scissors and we're gonna do some trimming and some snipping right here because we got those layers and they need to be able to lay out. So we do a little bit of trimming. Okay, you don't want this so thick along here. So I'm just trimming down the tiniest bit and then I'm going to put some snips into that curve. And then we're going to turn her out. I'll probably blast it with a tiny bit of heat. It always helps. All right, so I'm going to do just where this curve is. My scissors are getting a little, there we go. I'm just snipping into that curve. I'm not going right up next to my stitches, just into that seam. Oh my goodness, my scissors are like, you've done this too many times with us. Out of all the industrials you've tried with the retreats and sewing the States, do you still like yours the best? Robert, you know what? I actually do. I can honestly say that I like mine the best, but I will say it's probably because it's what I'm used to. It's what I learned on. I'm familiar with it. I know all of its quirks. Like when I sew on other people's machines are pretty personal. Like you learn how to navigate them and how to do certain things on them. And so when you're sewing on someone else's machine, you don't know all the tips and tricks with their machine. Does that make sense? So yes, I still like mine the best. That's because I'm familiar with it. Okay, here we go. It's an easy turn because it's already right side out, right? So you just have to go like that, which is my favorite way to do it. No hairdryer necessary, actually. Oof, she looks so cute. All right. Push that in. Make sure I did everything correctly. No backward zipper, check. Is that snipping in the pattern? I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is, Wendy. It just helps with this curve to lay better. All right, so I am now going to top stitch and then the machine is like a shoe. Yeah, you have to wear it in, right? Oh, she's cute. Isn't she cute? Okay. Yep, I like the combo. I'm happy with it. I'm glad because I already cut out all the kits. So kind of would have been too late. Who is the guy you bought your cylinder arm from? I bought it at Ralph's Industrial. Same person I bought my other machine from. All right, so I'm gonna top stitch. And I'm just gonna make sure the seam sits where I want it to on the sides. Okay, and I like to start along the back somewhere usually. zipper panel up and out. Some people have made this bag with the zipper panel under. It's really thick. And then it has different results when it's done. But that is an option if you really wanted to do that. I like it the way I wrote it, obviously. All right. Now you'll have to make another AnnaBelle to see what you've been missing. That's funny. It could be just fine without it. All right. I'm going to go back to my other machine, close up that hole, and then we'll put on the last of the hardware. All right. Let's move over one more time. Oh, she looks good though, guys. Okay. I had the best comment I have ever received. I came home from vacation and a lady sitting next to me on the plane asked if my bag was a Patricia Nash bag. I said, no, I made it. She was impressed. Oh, that is pretty awesome, Kelly. That always makes you feel amazing, doesn't it? You're like, oh, no, I made it. Love that. Let me double check, make sure my daughter hasn't texted me. All right. Okay, we're good. Okay. Why does it do that? There we go. Let's close her up. Okay. I can hear my bobbin being really low now. It's like, you can do it. We're almost there. Okay, cute, cute. Let's put on our zipper pull and then our zipper end cap, and then we're done. I'll trim this down quite a bit. It's a little bit long, just a little bit. Cute. All right. Let's trim it about right there. Looks good. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll show you side by side this and the Susu sling that we're doing for the Swag Dash. So you guys can see the two projects, and yeah. Okay, I taped it, folded it into thirds. You gotta shove it in there. Okay, screw it on. Thank you, guys. All right. Let me get the Susu sling and you guys can see them both together. Here's my cute handle. All right, so Swag Dash, Ohio. We will be doing this Susu sling that I did on an earlier video. She's cute too, right? We got the little heart. All the hardware's from my website. Same with the webbing. We got the little heart and heart. Super cute. And then it's the striped lining on the inside. Ugh, love it. And then, of course, the AnnaBelle. All right, those are the bags we'll be doing. I mean, they kind of scream Siah with the choices of fabric, but you know what? It's my event, so that's what we're doing. I hope everybody coming to the Swag Dash loves these. All of these floral prints and the stripes on this will be on Annette's website very soon for sale for everybody. These were an exclusive print for the Swag Dash, so but she will be posting all of the rest of the material on her website. This one wasn't exclusive. This floral wasn't. This is one that she carries all the time. I just love it. But this one was. Okay. That's it. Thank you so much. Oh, the handle's backwards there. Thank you so much for joining me, guys, and sewing us AnnaBelle up. I appreciate it. I hope you all have a happy Monday and a great start to your week. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. Again, both these patterns on my website, the Susu sling and the AnnaBelle shoulder bag, Go check them out. They're super fun to make. And thanks for all the love and support, guys. Okay, I'm going to go to Benson Boone tonight. See you later.